Actually, I came to the Toli because I got scared of the doctors in Germany. Because I'd always had checkups because my father died of cancer, so I had checkups all the time, and it was always fine. And one year, this was I think in 2003, the doctor told me it was getting to a point where he thought the numbers were getting too high. In other words, the score, PSA score, was getting too high, and he wanted to do a biopsy, so he did. And then he came back and said, okay, everything's fine, no problem. And about 6 months later, when I had the next checkup, he said, well, I still have this problem, so I want to do another biopsy. So he did. And then he came up with a Gleason score of 7. I think it was 4 and 3 or 3 and 4. Anyway, the worst of it, I don't know. I forgot which way it goes. And he said, we have to operate immediately. And I said, oh, really? You know? And then I spoke to Nadja, to my wife, and we decided to get some second opinions. And I went to a couple other doctors, and they all came up with the same story. Operation, that's the way it should be. And then Nadja came up with the idea and said, remember when we were in Sarasota, there was this man at the pool, and he was at this clinic in Sarasota for prostate cancer. And I did remember that. There was a British gentleman, he had been here, and he was renting a place where we were living for this treatment. This was in 99 or 98. And then we found out that it was Datoli, and I telephoned the clinic here, and it was very surprising. Dr. Tatoli called me within 2 hours in Germany. And he told me that there was no need for the operation because I told him the score and what had happened, and he said, why don't you come here and let me take a look at it. So that's basically how I found this place. I went to the center every day for treatment for 25 days or 28 days, I forgot. And after that, there was a seating in the hospital. I stayed there overnight. And actually nothing really happened, and that's the problem with this disease anyway, you know, with this illness, because nothing happens. You don't feel anything. And then they did the PSA testing, and everything was fine. And I come now every 6 months. Every 6 months they do the blood work, and then once a year Dr. Datoli does the checkup, and it's been fine. The PSA is at 0.06 or 7 something, so I'm very satisfied, and I'm glad I didn't do the operation.